Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren and I bring you videos about fitness and food. I've definitely mentioned it on this channel before, but for those of you who are new, I'm vegan, and this week I wanted to talk to you about my thoughts on Miley Cyrus and why so many vegan diets fail. I've been a vegan for about 4.5 years now, and I was vegetarian for a couple of years before that. So I've been a vegan for a reasonable amount of time, and at no point during that have I ever thought, I don't want to do this anymore, this is not good for me, whatever. It is inconvenient, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of occasions where eating chips and salad for the 20,000th time is not really something I want to do. But I have a ethical connection to veganism. I'm an ethical vegan, so for me it's not even really an option anymore. I don't look at meat, dairy or eggs as actually being food. They're not something I want to eat, so it's just not even an option for me. And in the news this week or last week or whenever it was, we had Miley Cyrus, who is has been quite a vocal vegan over the last couple of years, and she's decided to not be vegan anymore, and she's cited that it was having a negative impact on her health, which, if that's how she feels, then that's fine. So I usually hate when people start videos with a disclaimer, but I'm going to start this video with a disclaimer and say I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm a vegan, doesn't mean you have to be. I'd obviously love it if you were, but what you do with your life is up to you. There's plenty of people who are vegan activists who do an absolutely fantastic job of that, and I encourage you all to go and have a look. But I'm assuming you've clicked on this video because you're interested to hear on my thoughts about it and are willing to have a conversation. Having said that, if you have got any questions about being vegan, or you want me to point you in the direction of any resources, then let me know in the comments. So I made a couple of notes about what I've observed in the past of people who have been usually actually very quite vocal vegans, and then have to make this deeply heartfelt or usually incredibly fake coming out video that they're not vegan anymore. And one of the things you see time and time again is that people who follow incredibly restrictive vegan diets are often the ones that don't stay vegan for very long. There's obviously loads of reasons why somebody might choose to cut animal products out of their diet. I'm talking about people who profess to be ethical vegans who then decide that that's no longer the route they want to take. If you're doing it for health or environmental reasons, that's slightly different, but from an ethical perspective, people who often go back on that are the people who follow incredibly restrictive vegan diets. So I'm not just talking about cutting out animal products, I'm talking about your raw vegans, mainly your raw vegans. You don't need to eat a raw diet to be healthy. You actually don't even need to eat a healthy diet if you don't want to. That's your choice. If you want to eat cornfish fingers, chicken nuggets, Linda McCartney sausages and smiley faces all day, I haven't got a problem with that, and actually that sounds genuinely delicious. But it's just all these people you see that follow incredibly restrictive vegan diets, so are meticulously whole food plant-based, or don't eat anything processed, or and I try and follow a mostly unprocessed diet, but I still eat bread and I still eat cake and I still eat processed meat or meat alternatives. And I genuinely think that's one of the reasons why I'm still vegan now is other than animal products, nothing is off the cards for me. If I want a biscuit, that's what I'm having. If I want a packet of crisps, that's what I'm having. So my tip to you, if you're thinking of going vegan, on that same vein, is just eat normal food. Eat food like a normal person. If you would normally have a sausage sandwich for breakfast, just make it vegan sausages. If you would normally have a bowl of cereal for breakfast, carry on having a bowl of cereal. It hasn't got to all be chia puddings and smoothie bowls and all sorts of weird stuff. There's nothing wrong with porridge and cereal. The second mistake I see people eating, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the first one, is just not eating enough food. If you're somebody who goes from a standard, kind of Western diet to eating a vegan diet and you're replacing none of it, i.e. you're just having vegetables, you're not going to be eating enough food. So if you are going to really overhaul your diet, which I don't recommend you do, but we'll get onto that in a minute, you need to be looking at how many calories you're eating a day and checking if it's enough. So use a calorie tracking app, make sure you're eating enough. It's easy. Or just eat, the same as you normally would. So if you normally have a burger, have a veggie burger. If you normally have, some chicken nuggets, have the vegan version. Similarly to my last comment, the next thing I see people doing all the time, and I think it can usually be to people's detriment, is going all in too quickly. So, waking up one day and being like, that's it, I'm never eating any animal products again. Let's just ignore the fact that I have never eaten a vegan meal in my entire life, or have no idea what I'm going to eat. I'm just not going to eat any animal products again. And that's how people end up in the situation of eating either incredibly unhealthy food, which is going to make you feel like crap probably, or just not eating enough and literally just eating vegetables because you can't think of anything else. Take your time. It took me the best part of probably 3 years to go from vegetarian to vegan. And, over that time I cut out milk, I cut out eggs, I swapped to different things, I tried out different diets, and that meant that now I have a massive repertoire of meals that I cook and a load of different vegan food content creators that I follow, so I'm always constantly adding to that list. Yeah, a lot of the time I eat the same shit. I eat a lot of tofu and I eat a lot of rice, but that's because that's what I like eating. So my tip on that vein is just take it slowly. Do it over the course of a couple of weeks, or say, right, I'm going to have one vegan day, or this week I'm just going to try and have a vegan breakfast every day. Just ease yourself into it, and you'll thank yourself for it in the long run. And then the last thing I think I see people doing is doing it for the wrong reasons. So either doing it because it's seen as trendy, or doing it because you think it's going to solve all these problems that you have, and not doing it because you've made an ethical connection to the food that you're eating. You're just doing it because you did it on a whim. Now, by all means, go and try things. Like I'm a massive advocate for people just eating more vegan meals and not necessarily becoming a hardcore vegan. But if you are going to transition to a completely vegan lifestyle, you will probably be doing that because of the ethical connection that you've made to the consumption and use of animal products. So when I say I'm vegan, I'm not just talking about the food I eat. I don't buy leather, I don't buy wool, I don't buy down. I buy vegan and cruelty-free makeup and cosmetics. I don't use honey. I don't have eggs. It's a really cross-cutting thing for me. Even to the fact that I won't buy a puppy. All of this comes down to my fundamental beliefs that animals don't exist for our use or our exploitation, and they exist for their own reasons. And I think because that connection and that belief is such a fundamental belief for me, I really can't see myself ever being anything other than vegan. I don't like to say I'll never eat meat again, because honestly, who knows where I'll be in 20 years time. But at this point in my life, I can't see it happening, especially with the amount of new plant-based products that are coming out every single day. I bought a vegan sticky toffee pudding from Tesco the other day, and if that isn't the symbol of balance, I don't know what is. You can buy 15 different plant milks, you can buy vegan egg, which is not that easy to get in the UK, but I see the people in the States eating it all the time. There's so many new products coming out every single day that you really can have pretty much anything in a vegan version. And there's honestly, hand on heart, there's nothing that I miss. I don't feel deprived by what I eat. And if I want to have a day where I eat nothing but junk food, then let me assure you that even in a random ass Tesco you can find it all. I'll leave a couple of Instagram accounts in the description of some of my favourite vegan content creators, and they do vary wildly between people who seemingly only eat junk food, although I'm sure they don't, to people who have a real passion about cooking whole food, plant-based diets, and I probably gravitate somewhere in between the two. So if you are interested in understanding what vegans actually eat on a day-to-day basis and what you could eat as a vegan, then go and have a look. Let me know if you've got any questions. Let me know what your thoughts on the whole thing are. I hope you have a really lovely week, and I will see you soon. My phone is dying. My phone is dying.